Hey, what's up you guys, Kateypops here. Welcome to my first ever sketchbook tour. I actually don't have this sketchbook anymore as I handed it in. This sketchbook was a part of Propel Youth Arts WA and they hand out 100 sketchbooks across WA. You fill it out over the course of 2 months and hand it back, and then it tours around Western Australia. I will let you know if my sketchbook will be touring around Western Australia and where you can go see this art in real life if you live in Western Australia soon. My goal for this sketchbook really was to expand my skills and try something a little bit different. I took a lot of inspiration from works that I'd seen on Tumblr and tried to recreate them in my own style, so if you see some works that look like things that you've seen before, I probably used it for inspiration. I will leave links to the Tumblrs that I found my most inspiration from down in the description. Okay, let's get into it. I forgot to film the front cover, but it had a sticker on it that said, "I did my best," which I think represents this entire sketchbook as a whole. Okay, it opens up to an information page, and I'll just block out my real name here. On the first page we have a watercolor inspired by a work I saw on Tumblr. I love this as most people will be like, oh, that's really nice, until they notice what's really happening here. On this page I did some random scribbles around this quote that I really like, and I put some rainbow cutouts next to it because hashtag yay yay. Also, I love that I drew a tiny little boat. I have no idea why. For this one, it's pretty simple. I took a picture of Troy from the Blue Neighborhood album cover and filled it with lyrics from Wild and For Him. Every single one of those words is a lyric. Next to it, you can see I did a color palette with swatches from a magazine. At this point in the sketchbook, I was doing a kind of like feature page and then an inspired by page, but as you'll see, it didn't last for very long. This one has an excerpt from a story and what I imagined the scene to look like. This was the start of my obsession with mermaids. I will link the story down in the description. This one has the same concept as the page before, only not mermaids. This page is a watercolor of Maddox Writer's Virus AU and an inspired by mood board page. This is actually a smaller version of a piece I did last year, but I really wanted to do it again in this sketchbook. Here's what the big one looks like for you guys. This is one of my favorite pages. It's a watercolor of Troy as a mermaid. My pal Kat wrote the words next to it. This one, an acrylic painting of a sunflower. Originally this was going to be a 3D art, only the paint dried flat. So, oops. This one's a quick little watercolor of Dodie and lyrics from her song Would You Be So Kind, only I realized I gave her pink hair by accident. I don't know, I think I had Connie in my head. For this one I did some random blobs of watercolor and tried to turn them into pictures. My favorite is the monkey at the bottom. This page has no real idea or concept. I just had some leftover blue paint and I thought that the patterns looked cool. Another one of my favorites, I used some petals from sunflowers that were growing in my front yard, and around it says she loves me not, and there's a dead flower at the bottom that says did she love me at all. I like to play with my own emotions. This one's a quick little pencil drawing of a Sleepy Phil and another one of a Cozy Dan. So the cutout next to Dan has nothing to do with Dan. I just really liked how those hands look and it didn't fit anywhere else in the sketchbook. Same as the drawing of Troy from the second page, this one is lyrics from Heaven on a pride flag. The next page is inspired by a work I saw on Tumblr. I really love the black and white outline aesthetic. It's beautiful. A quick watercolor of a spooky girl in a tree. For this one I did a drawing of some hands and I was really unhappy with how it turned out. So I painted over it and scratched the words out onto it. It's kind of cool that you can see the original drawing behind the scratches. And again, my obsession with black with white drawings. Here we have some random watercolor circles and I think what's meant to be Troy falling through a portal. I'm in love with this one as well. Here we have an acrylic painting of Troy, which I believe is my best work in this sketchbook, but some people will beg to differ. I didn't do too much on the page next to him as I didn't want attention to divert away. A quick drawing of two boys and a quote from one of said boys. I won't say where I got the quote from, but if you know. This is a self-portrait of me surrounded by 101 facts about myself. And next to it I took a page of watercolor swatches, stuck them all together and wrote my favorite facts that are hidden within the self-portrait. This one's a quick watercolor of Official Ariel. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you totally should. And next to it I put some of the mesh fabric that was in the picture. I don't know why I wrote "watch me with open eyes." I guess I felt like it fit the scene. Here's a drawing I did of my pal Abby from when she met Daniel that I drew for her birthday, and next to it I wanted to use glitter and I wrote "your eyes shine like the stars" because apparently I'm Dan trash. The lyrics written on the pieces of wood here are from Bloodstain by Rabel. If you haven't seen my last video, you should totally go check it out. I paint his album. Here's another acrylic painting of Princess Mononoke. I mainly did this one because I really wanted to do the blood splatter across her face. Next to it, a sticky note from my Japanese lessons. We're getting to the end now. Another watercolor I did of Dodie and some random cutouts from magazines that I had nowhere else to put, but I really wanted to put in the sketchbook somewhere. That baby is adorable. On the left side we have a photo shoot I did of Ellery. I'm actually in love with this page. Ellery looks great. Go follow her on Twitter. But next to it, I don't know what my intent was here. It started out as a drawing of Troy, but I painted over the parts I didn't like and then drew new parts on sticky notes, only I hated that too, so I just made it into a messy collage. I don't think I'll ever be happy with it, but it shows my progress, I guess, and, you know, try new things. For this one, I drew a page of something borrowed and never returned, but I tore it out, which I don't know what that symbolizes, but like you can read into whatever the hell you want. The lyrics written down the side are from Rusty Clinton's song Neptune, which really represented my emotions when I was doing this sketchbook. Also, you'll notice down here when the lyric says, "and the ink's run out," my ink did run out. Finally, the last page, and forget every time I told you my page was my favorite because that is a lie. This is my favorite. Me and my pal Sarah did a Polaroid photo shoot where we covered our faces in paint. I don't know what any of them represent, but like, read into it what you will. I think it looks fucking awesome. Also, there's a little back pocket hiding in here, and I have a secret note and a pair of my shoes. And that's it. Thanks for watching, you guys. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment on what your favorite art was. Also, I am planning my trip to Japan and I would like to know what you guys would like to see from my trip. Do you want to see daily vlogs, just one montage from the entire trip, or a series of videos to do with hauls and a montage and whatever else I can come up with? If you guys could tell me your thoughts and vote in the poll, then I would much appreciate. Maybe if you guys like this video, I will do another sketchbook tour, like perhaps this one that I've had since I was 8 years old. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Mwah. Do you guys like the outro? Made it myself. Bye.